How are you doing?
Currently in the U.S., over 10 million Americans smoke marijuana habitually. Marijuana has more than proven itself in the medical industry by providing people relief with such illnesses such as HIV and cancer. So it is illogical to make simple possession of the drug a federal offense in America. Today I'm going to tell you about the injustices brought on to America by its marijuana laws. And the sources I use for my speech are as follows: Why Marijuana Should Be Legal by Rosenthal and Cubby, Understanding Marijuana by Mitch Earlywine, Legalizing Marijuana by Rudolph Gerber, www.wham.org, www.wikipedia.com, the National Commission on Marijuana and Drug Use, and www.easysmoke.com. In 1999, 18,404 people died from illicit and illicit drug use. About 3.5% of this number accounted for alcohol and cigarettes. To date, there has never been a recorded death caused by marijuana. Although alcohol is obviously a lot more damaging to people in the community, it is still legal to possess and consume as long as you're over 21. If you're under 21, it's not a jailable offense to carry it. It is a jailable offense if you get caught more than 3 times. While alcohol is legal after you're 21, marijuana is completely illegal for all ages, unless it has been passed for medical use in some states. Marijuana has been known to treat illnesses such as epilepsy, glaucoma, migraine headaches, depression, and multiple sclerosis. One cancer survivor, Judith Kushner, who survived breast cancer, said after her first use of marijuana, "For the first time in several months I felt relief. I also felt hope. I smoked small amounts of marijuana for the remainder of my chemotherapy and radiation treatment. It was not a regular part of my day, nor did it become a habit. Each time I felt nausea, I took 3 or 4 hits and it subsided." That quote was provided by www.wham.org. Victims of marijuana's laws and legislation in America are as follows. First and foremost, the taxpayers. It costs over $1 billion in tax dollars from the U.S. to incarcerate nonviolent drug offenders each year. So that's a lot of money to incarcerate nonviolent offenders with rapists and murderers in the same population when they haven't committed any kind of act towards another person. Another victim of marijuana's laws in America are its youth. In 1981, a study showed that 49% of the 196,000 cited or arrested for marijuana were under 21 years of age. The National Commission on Marijuana and Drug Use concluded that these youthful marijuana arrestees had no contact with law enforcement agencies prior to marijuana arrest. That means that it was their first run-in with police and they're now facing federal offenses for their first time to break a law. And these are the kids, youth of America. They're being put in jail. If you squeeze a balloon in one place, it will pop out somewhere else. Pop's popularity will not go away. I don't think it can be controlled. It's no longer a law enforcement issue, it's an economic issue. quote by Carl Hyacin, formerly a drug crime reporter for the Miami Herald. The solutions and benefits for marijuana's legislation problems in America are obvious. The taxes, profits, and wages would be tremendous and would help out the suffering economy. According to the taxes put on alcohol and cigarettes, marijuana would generate about $7 billion in government revenue if taxed each year for the government. Medical proficiency of marijuana is obvious, and it would be inhumane to deny the right to, or its use to people that might need it in states that it has not become legal. Advocate for justice in marijuana legislation and spread the word about the injustices done in America. This is a map of the states that have already passed medical marijuana, and physicians prescribe it regularly. Some of the states are Alaska, Colorado, New Mexico, California, Oregon, which are the states in the green, have already passed it. States in the white are currently considering medical marijuana, yet it has not been passed. The red states are which there is only one, South Dakota, is the only state to have completely rejected medical marijuana and everything that comes with it. Some of the resources that medical marijuana would replenish would be livestock feed, livestock bedding, nutritional supplements, essential oils, medicines, food, paper products, textiles, body care products, and construction. This is an example of a medical marijuana identification card in California. It's just kind of like an ID in Texas. Photo goes here, you have your ID number here, and you just kind of walk in to stores and show them your ID, and they give you marijuana. Advocate for change in the system and spread the knowledge of injustices criminalizing marijuana brings on America. To close the speech, I'd like to quote former U.S. President Jimmy Carter. He said, "Penalties against possession of a drug should not be more damaging to an individual than the use of a drug itself. And where they are, they should be changed. Nowhere is it more clear than in the laws against possession of marijuana in private for personal use. Therefore, I support legislation amending federal law to eliminate all federal criminal penalties for the possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana." Jimmy Carter, U.S. President. The end.